All right, my good old folks, we back at it. Welcome back to your favorite channel, Pelican Bay Dog TV and News, for the day, for the evening, for the morning, for the night. Just depends on where you at across this world. Big thank you and big shout out to all my people across this world. You know, I've been stopped focusing on being local. I need to get this dog talking news out to these people on the other side of this globe. You know what I'm saying? Let them know how it's going. It just is what it is. Big thank you to all my people that's taking care of these dogs out here. Everybody that's doing what they gotta do. Like my brother hit me up earlier and said, these dogs get expensive, man, and brothers out here busting their butt to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? And hey, like at the end of the day, I can't feel sorry for a brother who ain't taking care of their dogs. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is, my brother. It is what it is. You can't afford to take care of them. Cut down. Like I always say, you got 50, you can't take care of them, they skinny as hell, you better cut down to 20. 20 skinny, you better cut down to 10. You're 10 skinny, you better cut down to 5. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. Never overwhelm yourself when it comes to these dogs. Now, we're going to get to talking about this book as well. I want to speak about some things that's in it. You know, a few things that's in it, and we're gonna talk about a little bit of the stuff that been happening over the past couple days, or the past couple weeks when it comes to these to this dog news. You know, big thank you, like I said, y'all hit that like button up. Big thank you to the brothers and sisters down in the chat and everybody that's watching this video, no matter what you're doing. Like I always say, you might maybe just listening, not really watching it. You know what I'm saying? But if brothers and sisters don't know, it's crazy how, a situation have to hit close to home for folk to feel certain kind of ways. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. I've been doing this news for a few years now. It always hit close to home for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through the situation before. You see, a lot of these older brothers, and I'm not going to say folk, a lot of older brothers, when I say a lot of this information is useless now. If you're not telling these brothers how it's going in modern day times with these dogs, what the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? What is you doing? All that other stuff from the 90s, all that stuff sound good. But did you hear McMaster speaking? McMaster is only the governor of South Carolina. Every state got their own governor. Every state feel the way they feel about that certain situation. And it's illegal in all 50 states. Or 51, however you want to say it. But at the end of the day, this ain't the first bus and this ain't the last bus. Like I said, man, folk, and I'm not saying this to no particular people, but folk can't take it lightly when it don't happen to me, or it don't happen to you, so you take it lightly. You know what I'm saying? Like, these person made mistakes you ain't gonna make. Like I always say, every hustler think they not gonna make the mistake the hustlers before them made and end up doing the same exact thing. So the thing is, I always say, man, you got to be able to have these dogs and walk with your chest out. If you're not doing nothing, you're not doing nothing. You see, at the end of the day, that's why I say that two-person thing that brothers came up in the game on. I don't know how it was back in the 90s or the 80s or whatever. It may only have needed two people. But it's going to take more than two people saying something about you just to get you arrested. Any two people. I can go pay two people right now $50 a piece. Yo, man, go make up something on him. Go make up something on him. It's not going to work. It may get you investigated, but the investigation is what turned over the truth. You see, so it's more than just the two people. That's old school, and that's when sometimes you haven't been through it, and then you may think you need that, and it's a difference between, two people getting you locked up and two people coming to your court case. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about getting you picked up in general. Folk can make lies up, and you don't think like I always say, Folk make up lies about me every day. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to these dogs. Oh, he go check his dog. Oh, do this. Listen, man. It's about what you're doing. It don't matter what they say. You know what I'm saying? Because when they come check, you don't think, like I said, you know, big salute and big shout out to all these dog brothers across this country, from California to South Carolina, to Maine, to Florida, all the way to my folk in the UK, all the way to my folk in South Africa, all the way back to my folk in Romania. You know what I'm saying? That's chilling. You know, hey, you don't think, you know, in 3 years, all these brothers is mad, having them made up, at least 2 people having them made up a story on me. Now, when these people come investigate, they see I ain't doing shit. You know, I'm not going to say out of 3 years I've been doing this that I never been watched by the man. That'd be dumb to say that. Let's just be real about it. That's why I tell you, a lot of that old dog talk, that shit got to get pushed out the way. These boys ain't trying to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? 3 years. When these folk came to investigate, if they did came and investigate, or if they ever came, they see what I'm doing is walking that walk that I talk. That's what I'm talking about. You see, you got to be able to walk with your head high. That's what I said when I came into this shit. Walk with your head high with your Pitbull don't mean you doing shit because you black, because you live in the hood, or because you white, live in the hood and got a Pitbull. It don't mean you fighting your joint. It's what you do with it. Oh man, you running that treadmill out there in the open like that? Yeah, brother. What I got to hide the treadmill for? I don't do nothing. You see? It's what I tell you, man. When it's in your head, it's in your head that you're doing something wrong. It's in your head that you can't walk out here with your dog and feel comfortable. Oh, I got something illegal. I got to hide this dog. I ain't on that level, fam. You know? Not on it. And see, it pays to have somebody, if anybody decide they want to do this news later on down in the future, because I'm going to be graduating. You know, I haven't made my show up, my choice up, you know, exactly when. But I'm going to be graduating from this same exact thing sometime this year. I ain't sure when, you know, and not stopping my channel, but I'm moving on to other things. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I see in this dog game, brothers only want to hear certain things. They only want to hear certain things from certain people. You see, I never bow down and be beneath anybody. I'm equal to everybody. You see? Never, ever. And like I said before, to my young brothers, if I haven't been through it, I wouldn't say this, my brother. Age don't mean you're top of the line bulldogging. You know? It don't mean you got the best shit. It don't mean, all it means is you can possibly have more experience than me in this particular situation or this particular field. It don't mean that you applying your experience. It don't mean that you actually have the type of experience that it's going to take to outcompete me in my event or whatever we competing in. You know? My young brothers, understand, man, 18, 19, you know, you can be that brother with the best dog when it come to that show, confirmation show, treadmill show. You see, y'all was saying all that shit wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? 2 years ago. Oh, man, nobody treadmill. Now everybody want a treadmill. And I told you, man, give it another damn year or two. Give it a year or two. You know what I'm saying? And watch how many of these events be up out here. Oh, what brother say? Don't be up here holding my nuts on people. Don't be up here saying about the matching and all that stuff. It's in shambles now because you out the game. You see, I'm not gonna ever throw any kind of bad luck on anybody that's doing whatever they do, however they do it. Like I always say, we grown people out here. Everybody make their own decisions when it comes to that type of stuff. All I am is the news and to help some brothers, young brothers, understand, older brothers as well. You know, we're not dealing with the same type of stuff you used to be dealing with. Now, if you was blessed as myself to make it through that era, you know, and still be allowed to have your dogs, then what I would do, is to reevaluate what you got going on around you. You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, some of these young boys don't even got kids, haven't had kids. Some of my older brothers don't. You know, they don't got families. Not saying like families passed away, but they don't worry, they don't care about them. You know, so when I speak about that type of stuff, do you want to lose your family because of a dog? It don't matter to them. You know, and I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to people with sense, logical thinking people. You know what I'm saying? Even my young gangsters and my brothers who getting real money. You know, when you're getting real money, don't do nothing to sidetrack that stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I mean like, okay, boom. You think I'm going to do the bullshit when I'm trying to get to the bread on this legal end? You know what I'm saying? One thing about a path, you see, when you go through that path and you make it into a path, it continues to be a path unless it's never traveled again. You know, but if brothers see that's a path to take, it's going to continue to be a path. You can't keep walking over grass and it's going to grow back. It's going to stay flat. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to stay a route for brothers to do or brothers to make it the legitimate way. You know, I just say, man, you know, some brothers get it confused. When I give this news, you think it's personal. You think it's, oh, I'm aiming at the person who I'm giving the news today. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm aiming at the person who I'm giving the news tomorrow. Nah, and I told you, how can I get up here and talk to a bunch of grown men, but you want me to talk like a pussy? What you want me to say? Oh, man, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to quit this, man. This is horrible, man. Oh, man, you're going to go to jail, man. Listen here, man. That's why the shit didn't get through to you for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You got these old schoolers that won't tell you what's real. And like I said before, I'm in the belly of the beast out here. You know what I'm saying? We don't back down. You know, we keep giving this dog news and this dog talk the way these brothers and sisters out here want this thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, it pays to have a brother giving you that news that been through that situation of getting in trouble. You see? Some reason, a lot of these old schoolers, they feel like what they know about a keep or what they know about breeding is more important than y'all brothers, like I said before. You know, y'all brothers, y'all sisters. Some of these old schoolers is about like the United States. They care more about the dogs than they do about y'all, about a human being. Like I said, I jumped on the bandwagon. Let's make these brothers better humans. Let's make these brothers better humans. Then we can get better dogs. It don't make no difference if this brother way of thinking is fucked up. You know, it don't make a difference at all, man. You know, and we gonna get this speaking about, like I said, some of this info out this book. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get to speaking about that. And one thing about a book, and I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm jumping back on the dog fighting situation. You know, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You know, listen, bros, sisters, people. You know, I'm not just born yesterday, born whenever. You know, you can go in certain stores and just look through a book and decide if you want to buy it or not. You know, but man, listen here. I also seen places you're not gonna go, you know, and open it because it's in a package. You know, you can see the front, you can see the back, you can read the little snippets. There's a snippet on the back of the book to tell you what it's about. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I want to get up here and do shows about everything in the book, I can do that. I'm not trying to do that. I want rather for you to buy it. And this the thing. Big salute to them brothers out there that say, yo, I ain't no readers. I don't read. You know, I'm just going to buy this to support you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Big salute and big shout out and big thank you to y'all brothers for keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I don't do all that reading, but shit, I'm going to rock with you, dog. Here, boom. You know? It don't matter to me what you do with it. What matters to me is what you do with the dog. It'd be a damn shame for you to have all this information about how to take care of one, and then you get in trouble for not taking care of one. You know, I mean, it's just simple mathematics sometimes, man. Um, you know, when it comes to these dogs, like I said, man, I'm through with trying to convince brothers. You know, it's just gonna be ignorant things going on daily when it comes to these dogs. You're never gonna realize it. Everybody gonna have their day and their chance to see themselves on the news if you don't make a change. You don't think the next governor thinking the same thing or the next governor thinking the same thing? You see, I told y'all, did I not tell y'all that them governors from state to state is caught recognition to what happened down there in Paulding, Georgia, to the dude that caught the 500 years? Everybody know about that. You know, everybody. That's going to be a tactic to break brothers. But you don't want to hear it from me. You want to hear it from somebody that's going to tell you about how to do a keep all damn day, and they going to tell you how to keep your damn dogs. Like I said before, you know, I ain't here to sugarcoat none of this shit. Period. You know, I try to give it to brothers honest. You know, I try to be level-headed with some of this stuff. You know, but I'm going to just give it to you, and I'm going to give you the real, man. I'm just going to give you the real. You know, a lot of these brothers, they think you don't pay attention to every single thing. A lot of brothers don't pay attention to everything. But when it comes to this, I do. You know, I pay attention to stuff, man. Just like I said, I got to charge for interviews. You know what I'm saying? I can't help what the next brother do. You know, and I got to explain it to you like this. You know, and I'm going to give my brothers another example. And only people going to really understand what I'm talking about is the brother I'm talking to. You know, when you know, when I gave the video about my interviews, what I'm charging or that I am charging, right? You know, and I said, it don't make no sense for me to go up here and help the next person's channel for free when it's going to take money out my pocket again. It's taking money out my pocket the first time, and then it's going to take money out my pocket again when you turn around, and then I got to compete against you to get the same views that this dog community don't want to go above. You see, it's only a certain amount of people in this community. That's another reason, you know, I'm about to graduate on the other things, man. This community is it's got a cap on it. You know, it got a cap on it, and then you got the haters at that. You know, and when I say community, I mean this game dog community got a cap on it. Not the dog community, because I can go talk about training and all that other stuff. It may not get the views today that this David Tant video got or this other video got, but dog, it's about longevity. You know, like I said, a lot of y'all don't understand it, and you don't feel me when I say I got to figure out and be careful what I say on this channel, not to make myself look like a certain kind of thing or make anybody else look like a certain kind of thing. You know, I don't get no kicks out of that. I like doing the news. I like talking about these dogs. I like all that. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be involved with a channel, a platform, or a community that I got to watch what the hell I'm saying because the thing's going to be at risk around me. I go in football. I go in any sports. I can say what I want. It's my opinion. I go in regular urban affairs when all these rappers getting gunned down and all that. I can say what I want. You know, any other genre, I can say what I want. When it comes to these dogs, I got to hold back. Now, when it comes to the Pitbull encyclopedia, the main thing I'm telling you is how to take care of these dogs. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to whelping puppies, you know, we speaking about that. You know, the different bloodlines. We talking about the red-nosed dogs, the blue dogs. We got a special chapter for the blue dogs, my blue dog lovers, pit bulls rather. You know, like I said, we got a chapter for the bully brothers who got the bully dogs and the Gottis and the Razor's Edge and stuff. You know, we speaking about understanding genetics. You know, understanding genetics, understanding how to be confident with your dog in 2025 and not feel like you gotta hide around the corner. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about how things change from back in the days to how it is now. You see, this ain't in Brother Richard Stratton's book because it wasn't like that back then. So I got to keep and give you how it is in my time. You know what I'm saying? how it's going down in my time. That's what the book about, at the end of the day. About these bloodlines, different bloodlines. And like I told one brother, listen here, man, this book is just like fine wine. You know what I'm saying? Just like fine wine. You could bet you believe that. 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, watch how the value, the older it get, the value goes up. You see? And then I can't believe, what I'm saying, brothers complaining about the price. You see? Can't believe brothers complaining about the price. But I'm going to leave that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen something today, like I said before, man. It's only competition out here. The only reason y'all brothers don't see this competition because you ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting money, and the thing about it, these brothers want to count your pockets. And when you're really making money, they can't count your pockets because they don't know where the money coming from. They want to count it, it's coming from the views. Oh, they want to count it, it's coming from this. Oh, they want to, listen here, when you really get money, they can't count it. At the end of the day. And like I said, you'll never see it as competition until you're getting money in it. When you're interfering with somebody else's money, you don't understand what they're saying. Or when a brother gotta do a certain thing and you the reason they gotta do a certain thing to keep their money going a certain way, you would never understand it. Now, like I always say, man, I keep it always 100. Let me explain to you, my brother, you didn't say you don't look at it as competition. Like I said, now, interviews is cool, but like I said, I look at all this stuff. It's funny, and like I said, man, this dog game, some people only going to accept certain things from certain people. Certain people, they're going to always hold at a high platform because of age. And age, like I said before, age don't mean shit. They want y'all young brothers to think all that stuff, man. A lot of these old brothers can't contribute nothing to this dog game in modern day time. Why the hell should I listen to you? Listen to your old story. We got too many brothers that can contribute to this modern day dog game. How it's going in this modern day time. And a lot of y'all old schoolers with these YouTube channels, y'all want to fall back and use other brothers' content. Fall back. Like I said before, you ain't talking about the right enough shit. You ain't talking about what's really popping out here. You know what I'm saying? All you doing is feeding off what these younger brothers doing. Like I said before, we can't help you 30 and 40, your ass bout up out of here, and you still out here bullshitting with these dogs. We can't help that, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that era. We gonna make things different. Understand, these old school brothers that's still trying to pop, they ain't trying to make a change out here in this game. They trying to make the little bit of money they can make off y'all brothers while they can and get the hell on. Like I said before, man, I'ma say what I gotta say, do what I gotta do, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, the most modern Pitbull book on the scene by a dog brother that been through it, and a dog brother that's trying to keep you from going through it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all dog, a lot of y'all brothers, I can use any kind of help with advertising, but I'm good. Don't advertise me after I ask for it. Advertise me before I ask for it. But then these brothers, you know what I'm saying? They only see certain things. Like I said before, and if I say certain things, I'm a hater. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Understand? I'm leaving these old school motherfuckers in the dust back here. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, man. And I feel the way I feel because I stand on what I stand on. And at the end of the day, a lot of y'all motherfuckers, you play the background, you be running when shit get hot. You don't really give a damn what go on about these dogs, man, and these brothers and sisters out here with these dogs. You know what I'm saying? All you care about, like I said before, if the shoe fit, wear it. All you care about is getting that little green dollar about these boys out here. And watching one of my videos and doing what we call a knockdown, a runoff, a spinoff of Pelican Bay video. Man, I tell you, if you ain't don't mention a little bit of what I say, And don't mention all of what I say. Like I said, man, big thank you to everybody that bought a copy of the book. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I know how this dog community is. I know what's what. You ain't got to tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to tell me nothing, and I don't got to get up here and say it. You know how this dog community is. You know, even some of the brothers who you don't understand, man. You don't even realize that you are this way. These brothers don't support the good. They only support the bad. Like one brother say, in modern day times, it's like it's in reverse. What's supposed to be good is considered bad, and what's supposed to be bad is considered good. And everything our little community does. The prison is good. The school is bad. The brother over there working at 9 to 5 is bad. The hustler is good. The brother trying to keep you from going to jail about these dogs is bad. The one that trying to tell you how to work one, or the one that trying to tell you how to breed one, ain't trying to tell you that you can't breed for fighting. You can't breed. You can't work one for fighting. You can't do none of that, and you got to make sure, you know, that you 100% of what you doing. You know, and then you can be comfortable with your treadmill. You can be comfortable with your carpet mill, with everything else, man. You see, like I said before, man, even the old school brothers, you know, and I'm sticking to y'all. I'm sticking to y'all because I hold y'all to higher standards. Y'all should be smarter than that. You seen what I was talking about 2 or 3 years ago when I first started talking about this shit. You should have been backing me up. But yeah, you want to be on these channels with different people that's trying to tear me down. And you wonder why I don't fully respect a lot of y'all old school dog folk. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to disrespect you. You know, I just don't rock with your kind. I can see through all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can see through it, man. If you ain't rocking with me 100%, it just is what it is. Keep stepping. You know? Big salute to anybody trying to make it in music in your own city, from your city, no matter, make no difference what city you in. You know? Salute to them up and coming Conway artists. You know? Some of y'all boys from Conway should be tired of being local. You know what I'm saying? I've been told y'all I can get you known more than what you've been. I can get you known in 1 month. I'm talking to my Conway rappers. I can get your music known more in 1 month than you did in the last 10 years. I can promise you that. But your money ain't right. Your talk, your hustle ain't right. And I'm talking to Conway. Entrepreneurs, so-called, the rappers. You know, I'm just trying to say, like, damn, you know, at some point, brothers got to show that they got some type of initiative. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in your hood gonna always say you got good shit, you know, but can you talk that tough shit and get that stuff to sell anywhere else? I'm gonna give y'all Conway folk a little bit of game real quick. Maybe y'all will blow up if you support your own folk. You know what I'm saying? And like at the end of the day, I learned this shit many years ago. Many years ago. You know, them same folk that you around trying to, your music hot, man. Listen here, man. They get a CD from a brother from Atlanta, never even heard of them in their life. They bring them to the city and they make copies, they pass it all out. Next thing you know, the whole city bumping a dude you never heard of from Atlanta, all because y'all quick to support other people, won't support your damn selves, won't support your own folk. I don't need your support. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you. You just a little small city. I'm not trying to be local. At the end of the day, local is a way of thinking. It ain't where you stay. It ain't where you're at. Local is your way of thinking in this game you playing. Whether it's life or whatever it is. And life ain't no game. You know? But like I said, man, big thank you to everybody that rocking with the book. You know, hey, I got to be a rapper to get props. I don't get props writing books. You know, writers don't get the props. I got to be a rapper, maybe a basketball player, a football player, or a dancer or a singer. You know, And I couldn't be a dancer in modern day times because the dancers do too many feminine moves, and I'm not that type of brother. Every dance move I look at is doing something feminine. I don't give a damn what it is. Something feminine in every damn dance these brothers doing out here today. So like I said, man, I wouldn't expect a lot of y'all brothers to understand some of this stuff I'm talking about. I don't give a damn if you understand it. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. I'm moving forward consistently every day. I tell brothers, consistency is what matters. Your percentage rate, consistently putting out high percentage great bulldogs, consistently putting out high percentage of stuff that brothers can use in this dog game today. And truthfully, and tell you the honest truth, I should have wrote the book every single chapter about this dog bust that's going on the damn day. Not the one that happened in South Carolina, the ones that's going on all across the country in today's time. That's what I should have been giving you, the whole damn book. Because that's the only thing that matters today, man. And like I said before, I can care less what you do. Go out there and do what you do. And I ain't wishing no bad luck on nobody. I'm just giving the news. Y'all have the tendency to have some sort of aggression or some sort of attitude or some sort of animosity towards me for giving the news. Sometimes y'all like to have animosity against me for trying to do the right damn thing. If I'm doing wrong, I'm doing right. When you're doing wrong, that's how they do you. But when you do right, your crowd gets smaller. The more right you do, the smaller your crowd get. And you see, when your crowd gets smaller, you could think. You could think better. You could think better. I've never been the type to need 30 people to do what one man do. One man can do. It don't take 30, it don't take, me to be around 30 people to make that thing jump off. And like I said before, my brothers, a lot of these folk never been through the pain of losing your dogs. That's what I'm talking about. See, it ain't the pain of losing your dogs when you know you did something, when you know that they may have got you for doing what they say you're doing. That's not, no. It's when you lose your dogs and they didn't even come for dogs. You see, I gave my story about these dogs because I told you I'm still pissed the hell off. How can you put a limit on love? If I love these dogs and you just come take them away from me for nothing, you got to understand it's not just the bullshit. Maybe you think it's the bullshit with some of these brothers because of what they doing. But then you run up on folk like me, and they got genuine love for their dogs, and I don't just let it go like that. When I say let it go, I mean too many brothers out here that could be helped. Too many brothers that got their dogs. And when I say, this is how I did it. Came in my backyard. I stood on my back step. And I just looked around like this. Smoked me an L. I smoked me an L. And a few tears dropped from my eye. Because everything just seemed so different. Like I always say, some brothers use these dogs as emotional support. They don't train them. They just use them for emotional things. Like I said, arguing with your old lady. Now let me go out here and mess with my dogs for a few minutes. Instead of the argument escalating, you went out there and chill with your dogs, and now everything back a little more cordial. She's still mad or whatever. Or, if you was mad, you maybe have calmed down a little bit. The dogs do a lot of things. You could have a bad day at work. You come home and it ain't got to be a pit bull. It can be a Shih Tzu, Schnauzer, Pug, Poodle. You come home work, and your dog is a therapy for you. So when these folk come, and in my case, for drugs, which I did, but I wasn't doing the dogs. This is how you know I wasn't doing the dogs. And this is why I have a grudge. But I believe in a higher power. So the grudge that I have is not, oh, I want to hurt you grudge. The grudge that I have is I put it in my heart, to make sure these brothers understand how it's going out here. I'm not interfering with nothing. I'm not trying to, like I said, convince brothers. Just giving it to you the real. And this will happen. Them folk that locked me up didn't care about no dogs. It's when I knew it was a bunch of bullshit out here when it come to these drugs and dogs. The folk that locked me up, they didn't care about dogs. All they cared about was what they came for. Okay? I was in jail. All the police was gone from my house. Every single police was gone. Everything was over. My dogs were still in my yard. My homeboys could have came, got the dogs out the yard. Anybody could have came, got the dogs. Do you know that this animal control bitch, that wasn't even part of the team that locked me up? This animal control bitch doubled back on the situation and made up some shit. And guess what she did? She rushed to the jail, give me a paper, say, oh, sign these dogs over. Sign these dogs over. Like, sign them over, or we're going to lock your grandma up for dog fighting. This and that, this and that. So I got other problems to worry about. I'm not worried about the dogs, and I'm not like, okay, boom, you can have the dogs, So, you have it if you got any decency in you, and then you go through things, you don't want your fellow man to go through another thing. And this is why I say at the end of the day too, man, it's a lot of things you're going to go through in life. A lot of brothers are in situations right now. You won't be in them same situations 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? You won't be around the same people you're around 10 years from now. Everybody has their own path. Everything is already written for everybody in that book. You know what I'm saying? That special book. Some things you may not understand, but you got to go with the program. You got to go with the flow. When it comes to these dogs, man, I'm just to the point where it's far more people that's trying to stay ignorant than it is the brothers that really care about seeing this type of stuff. And I'm not talking about the news or nothing. I'm just talking about in general. The folk that y'all keep on high pedestals, at some point, like I said, man, this is the only sport was considered a sport. It's a sport when you're doing treadmills. It's a sport when you're doing wall climbing. It's a sport when you're doing weight pulling. It's a sport when you're doing confirmation. This the only sport where records are broken. Records, people do better than what people did back in the 70s, the 60s. But y'all still keep them folk up there like they are the holy grail because of a few breedings. See, breedings aren't going to determine the dog man in modern day time. It's not the breedings you make, it's can you survive this dog game modern day time. I don't care what kind of breedings you make. If you can't survive, what's the purpose? See, the things that matter then, in Mr. Kobe days, the things that mattered in Mr. Tudor days and Mr. Carver days, that shit don't matter no more. Period. And see, I know this, and the thing I know is a lot of brothers is you're just gonna do what you're gonna do. You're gonna feel how you're gonna feel. It makes me, like I said, it makes me no difference which way you go, but don't have no kind of feeling towards me when I'm doing this news. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, from the mall cat stuff, news articles is doing it. You know, and like I said, a lot of y'all brothers, you want to talk this dog talk, but you don't really want to talk about it in the way that you're supposed to talk about it. And that's what distinguishes my channel from a lot of y'all channels. You know, y'all sugar coated, you bite this, you bite tongues this. Listen here, man. This dog game is too serious. This shit is too real to be out here biting your tongue about shit. You know what I'm saying? To be out here trying to grease brothers, get that brothers to grease your palms, and you giving them some bullshit information. You know? See, that's what my book about. Staying steadfast with these dogs, and 10 years later, you can still have these motherfuckers. That's what it's about. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff don't matter. Hit that like button up, man. Hit that like button up. You haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel, man. It just is what it is. I've been dropping a lot of them old training videos over the past couple of days because I just found one of my old stashes. You know what I'm saying? Just found one of my old stashes with some of my old videos. And man, a lot of that stuff bring back good memories. And a lot of my brothers rocking with my channel when I was doing a lot of this stuff. Like when I told y'all I did the running with the suit on, and I put Marino at the 1 yard line and I got at the 50. You know, a lot of y'all weren't rocking with me then, and I thought I lost that video, you know, but I found it. As well as many other videos. You know, I got the video where I got bit by Marino. I'll put that up in a minute too. We was training at nighttime, and I had him jumping the fence, and I sent him on an attack, you know, but instead of attacking the sleeve, he got my damn arm. And that's stuff that happened. It wasn't nothing that he intended on biting it, but it just, he grabbed my arm. And I just had to be a man about it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't act like a little girl, crying and shit. It happens, man. Like I say, them boys say you're riding them bikes, you're going to hit the ground one time at least. That's why I got rid of my bike, because that ground is unforgiving, you know. But when you got them dogs, man, especially the Malawi's, there's always a chance that you get bit during your training. Not mauled down or nothing like that. Malawi not going to maul you down. They going to bite you because you had some loose skin somewhere they thought you had a sleeve or something at. You know, I do want to say this, you know, to my brothers that are thinking, and my sisters that are thinking, my people are ordering the magazine on the book. The shipping on it is a hell of a lot faster now. You know, big salutes to my brothers, Samurai, my brother over there in the Big Oakland. You know what I'm saying? My brother Bruce Banner. You know, y'all brothers' books took a while to get to y'all, you know, and that was the first sets of them that I was ordering. Now that I've been ordering for a minute, you know, they shipping that thing out fast, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, they shipping that thing out fast. Brothers is making orders like the day and getting it by the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? What is Wednesday now? Brothers making orders today and getting it by Sunday, getting it before Sunday, you know. Maybe it's going off my Prime account. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I appreciate everybody, and like I said, brothers, you know, this is something we gonna wait and let it get better like fine wine. You know, it's gonna be a point where a lot of the haters, the hate is gonna be, they can't hate no more. You know, you're gonna want to add something in your collection that you can have in your collection. A lot of these dog books you can't even have, not books. You can have the books, the magazines. You know, you can't have them. And like I said before, this the only Pitbull book existing. I don't care which author you go find. This the only one that's gonna tell you how it's going down in 2025. And see, at the end of the day, a lot of y'all, man, you gotta speak what you want to speak. Don't talk half-ass. When it comes to Hog, this is my thing with Hog. You know, I never said nothing about Hog wasn't a good dog. Period. I don't know nothing about what kind of quality of dog Hog is, right? But I can give y'all a video to tell y'all something y'all never heard before in y'all damn life. But this is my thing about Hog. Only thing I ever said about Hog is the way he was being bred, so-called. Hog shouldn't produce no gray dogs, no blue dogs, is what I said about him. You know, what I said about him is the Humane Society had him on their website 5 years ago. That's what I said about him. You see, don't make up stuff and talk half-ass when it comes to these dogs. To get you some views. That's why I tell brothers, this dog community ain't big enough. Everybody trying to feed off what 1 or 2 people talking about, or 3 or 4 people talking about. And everybody trying to use everybody's subscribers and all that shit instead of getting your own. Like I said before, if everybody came in there with their own stack of subscribers, everybody will be good. Then you can share with other brothers. Nah, you ain't trying to, brother, you don't understand what competition is when you don't come in with your own subscribers. When your subscribers is the same ones that's watching my video, that's what competition is. But when your money ain't involved, you don't understand yet, you know? So I gotta help some of y'all brothers understand. You know, end of the day, man, like I said, my goal is just to let brothers see what's going on out here in this dog game, make better humans for these dogs, and have fun, enjoy life, you know. Other than that, man, y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay legal out there. And remember, who gonna give it to you, where you get it from, and who gonna give it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Pelican Bay K9s, and I'm the fuck out.
The Pitbull Encyclopedia is the ultimate guide for anyone who loves, owns, or wants to learn more about one of the world's most misunderstood dog breeds. Packed with expert insights, breed history, training tips, health advice, and heartwarming stories, this comprehensive book breaks down the myths and highlights the true nature of pit bulls: loyal, intelligent, and loving companions. Whether you're a first-time owner, a seasoned pit bull enthusiast, or an advocate for the breed, the Pitbull Encyclopedia is your go-to resource for understanding and celebrating these incredible dogs.